Hey guys, welcome back. I spent an hour last week recording a podcast. And what happened is the camera wasn't working, so I had to go and record it on the software on this laptop. And unfortunately, it was too big, the file to upload. So I tried for ages and ages to convert it, to get it compressed, so I could edit to put it on the podcast. And I sat with it and I was really, really like, not upset, but a bit disappointed because I just had a really good episode. And I just spoke about a lot of really deep things and a lot of personal things, which I haven't spoken about to really many people, to be honest. And I thought, and in that moment, I thought we don't have to overanalyze everything. Like, not everything is, that was meant to be, or that clearly was the universe intervening. I think sometimes it's just what it is. And it reminded me of what my coach said in a recent kind of module we went through. And it was about the stories around this guy gets this horse in this village, and he's the first one to get a horse, and everyone's like, oh my God, you got a horse. It must be so amazing for you. And he's like, it is what it is. And then a few weeks later, his son breaks his leg riding the horse. And people are like, oh my God, your son's broke his leg on this horse you've been given. You must feel so sad. It is what it is. A few months later, the son can't go to war because he's got a broken, his leg, and he can't fight. So everyone's like, oh my God, you must be so relieved. It is what it is. There's always this kind of opinionated, a kind of extreme do's and don'ts, right and wrongs, ups and down, the polarity which we get. There's always a duality in life. But I was thinking of that, applying that to my video that I did last week. I spent the whole hour recording it. Felt so good recording it, and it just, a lot came out. But instead of just overanalyzing it and trying to make out like, oh, it's the universe intervening, etc., etc., it didn't feel that way. It just felt like it is what it is. It wasn't obviously meant to come out that way. And I'm recording today. Now, something I will always show up in is my authenticity. I've got a 1-year-old, I've got a busy life, as we all do, but I do take time for me when I can. And I was saying to my husband, Chris, this morning, there's part of me that wants to, and I keep saying part because it isn't truly our core, there's part of me that wants to go upstairs, wash my hair, straighten it, put makeup on so I look better on camera, I look more presentable. But then part of me is like, no, I just want to show up in the moment. Like, sometimes when I'm feeling really inspired, I just want to show up there and then. And I even said, imagine if I just woke up and I had the inspiration to go and talk on my podcast. Will just go do it. I'm just going to go do it. And that's authenticity for me. And that isn't to say anyone else who wants to show up in the makeup every day. There might be days where I have got my makeup on and I probably look a bit better, and I'm like, oh, got lipstick on and my mascara and I feel a bit better in myself. But underneath all of that is me showing up as me, and me showing up as I am, because a lot of that inspiration comes like now, it comes through. Like I said the other week, I was in the kitchen, I just felt this huge pull to record, and I did. There's an element I want to talk about today, which has been a common theme in our soul dance group that I'm with my coach, and it's energy leaks. And it's been really hitting me and hitting hard home, like a lot the last few days. And it's regarding where we let our energy leak. And she talks about us being a bank, and taking energy in is our banking, and then obviously spending energy is our withdrawals. And I was like, oh my God, it just hit so much, like how much we give energy away, and then how much we're in like an overdraft and trying to get out of that overdraft. How many of you listening have felt so depleted, worn out, burned out, and you find it harder and more challenging to get out of that energy? It's because you're in overdraft, and that overdraft has interest. So it feels like it takes harder, and more challenging to get out of that energy. So underneath that, you've got to have a balance of money in, money out. Think of your own bank, and how does your bank look like right now in life? And apply that to your life. It's the same thing. It's not all just about money. And it's really been hitting so deeply, because this year has been a transformational year in a way of where my energy leaks are. I always feel like, as an empath, we have this, I wouldn't say opinion, but when you know you're an empath and you feel it, I feel like a collective I wouldn't say opinion, but there's a collective vision and maybe an opinion. But for example, as an empath, as an outside looking in, they think, oh, empaths, they're just so nice, they're just so kind, they'll do anything for anyone. And that's something I believed about myself, was like, I'm an empath, so I have to live up to what an empath is. And actually, no, an empath can have boundaries, an empath can say no, an empath can show anger, an empath can have limits. And that doesn't say they're any less of an empath. An empath isn't just about kindness and helping others heal and wanting good things and being kind and loving and compassionate. We all have capacity for that. I just think being an empath is a certain kind of, it has a lot of challenges as well, being an empath. It's not exactly that easy, because you're not only feeling for yourself, you feel for others as well so deeply. I know I do. I can't even walk past an older person with a guide dog without just shedding tears, because I just feel so much for that like beautiful little dog and the older person who needs the dog to help them. Just excuse me too, I've got a bit of hay fever, so that's why I am like sound a little bit nasally and I'll sniffle a few times. It's peak summer now, we're getting into summer in New Zealand, and the hay, the pollen is definitely rising up, so I am trying to keep on top of that as much as I can. So going back to that energy leak, like, ask yourself in your life, where are my energy leaks? Where are they? For me this year, I haven't spoken about this publicly yet, but I let go of a friend, a very, very good friend this year. And I had to, because I knew in that alignment and that staying authentic to me, it wasn't right. It didn't feel right. It didn't feel aligned. It didn't feel like a give and receive. And that's important for me. There's got to be a give and a receive. And yeah, not everyone, it can't always be a balance. That's not to say it's got to be a 50-50 balance all the time. For me, it's just it's a reciprocal kind of relationship, friendship, whatever it is. And I feel like when you are an empath, sometimes we feel like we have to portray the good girl and the kind girl and the nice girl and whatever, insert whatever. But ultimately, empaths hold so much rage because we just let things go. And I'm not speaking for every empath, I'm speaking for me in particular. I've held on to so much and thought, just let go of it. I'm an empath, let go. I'm nice, I'm kind. It is what it is. But underneath all of that, I've stored it and stored it and stored it and stored it and stored it. And what happens when you keep storing something is there's not any more room to store it, and it has to come out. And yeah, we have energy leaks, but then this is things that needs to be released. So for me, anger's never really felt a comfortable emotion to share or to release. I've always had a belief that to be angry is to be bitchy, because I grew up with quite bitchy girls around me, and that's not to say I wasn't bitchy. We can all have bitchy moments, especially as teenagers. God, that's like part of our developmental like growth. And I think, okay, so if I've got all this repressed anger within me, and I'm repressing it because I feel like as an empath I'm not allowed to feel angry, because I should just feel spiritual and happy and content and this and then all these like furry. It's like, no, I'm a human being having I'm a spiritual being having a human experience, and even that in itself, humans can feel everything from anger to love in that scale, everything. And just because all the emotions on this side, like love and happiness and content and compassion and all that kind of nice fairy stuff, feels good and it's comfortable, all the stuff on the lower end, disappointment, sadness, anger, hatred, whatever it is, we feel more uncomfortable. And a lot of people around us feel uncomfortable, us being around that energy and that feeling. Them feelings are uncomfortable to feel. But it's in those where a lot of stuff and a lot of transformations can happen, because it stays in the body. Last week I did a reel around being spiritual. Being spiritual is beautiful for me. It's not a religion, it's a lifestyle. But spirituality only can help you heal so much. For me, trauma has to go somatically into the body, and that's why I think a lot of like the spirituality side of things only goes so far. Has beautiful, beautiful energy around it, like grounding and meditation and all these things that I've done. are beautiful. They do help, but they don't help the body. They help your spiritual, your energy. So I want you to ask yourself, where are you allowing your energy to leak? Okay. Where is it leaking right now? Because what you're banking. So today was beautiful because I rewatched the video and it was around when you receive something, whether it's $1, $10, $50, whether it's a smile from someone, whether it's a coffee from someone, whether it was just a helping hand, banking that energy of receiving is filling your cup. And then when you spend your energy on whatever it is, on helping your clients, on helping family, giving money, donating, whatever that withdrawal is, it's like the bank. You put money in, you put money out. You put energy in, you put energy out. So where is that off balance right now? Where are the leaks? And sometimes it is about stopping. And I had to let go of that friend this year. And it was the hardest thing I had to do. And I didn't expect it to go as it went. And I never thought it would go that way. But for me, it wasn't right. It didn't feel right for a long time. And I just I allowed it to just play out, to be honest. And I did let it play out. And it played out as I wasn't really expecting. But for me, that was such an energetic drain on my family and myself. And I feel like that in itself is a yes to you, is you putting energy back into yourself, because not everyone is meant to come on this whole ride with you. They're just not. And it's okay. And it is okay. And for me, the biggest lesson I'm learning right now as an empath, as a light worker, is that I can still show up in a loving energy, in a compassionate energy, and still say no. And still have my limits and boundaries. And that's okay. Because the outside world, they can think whatever they want. They can think however they see. They'll see through their own eyes. We all see through our own eyes of perception. I can't make you see anything that you're not meant to see. You'll see it as you're meant to. But all I can do is what I see and how I show up, and where I can say no or say yes or stop or go. The duality of those. And that's not to say what I'm doing is the same for you. What I am saying is, no matter where you are in your life, before I say that next sentence, when it comes to letting go of people or saying no or whatever it is to protect your energy, a guilt can come up. A lot of the time guilt comes up, you know. As an empath, I feel like I'm just this walking, like, it's okay, I'm an empath and you know, I should just get on with things and just don't let it get to me and just keep going. And it gets to a point where you're like, I can't anymore. There's got to be a limit. We've all have our limits. We're not invincible. So when there are times where I'm like, no, stop. And I know when that's happening because the overwhelm kicks in. And when I know that overwhelm, I always see myself as a pressure cooker. When the simmer starts to move up to low and medium, I'm like, that's where I know I've got to take some deep breaths, go back into the body, feel into what I'm feeling, what needs changing, what needs transforming, what do I say no to, what needs to shift. And taking that time, because I can't just keep living in that loop of, it's okay, it's all right, it's okay, I'm an empath, it's fine, I'm spiritual. It's like, no, it's actually toxic, because I'm a human. I can feel. I'm allowed to feel. So if I was to absolutely have an anger meltdown right now and scream and shout and have this full-on tantrum, toddler tantrum, how would all of you watching feel? Imagine you watching me now cry, kick, scream because I'm angry. How would you feel watching that, listening to that? I can probably guess you'd be like, oh my God, Pip's having a meltdown, what the heck? But if I was like, yay, life is great and I'm so good, and I'm like on 100 mile an hour, so happy, so content, loving life, you're like, yeah, this is great, yeah. I mean, some of you might think it's cringe, but I can't control what you all guys think or see. I'll show up as I'm meant to show up, and you will take from it what you need. And this is what I'm trying to get at, is that when we're feeling all these different emotions, no matter what the emotion is, I always feel like, especially anger for me is one that people find really uncomfortable to feel, because there is so much anger and hatred in the world. But anger processed and released safely is so different to just, again, like that anger. The anger part of us can be quite reckless, can be, mean to others, destructive. But when we're actually working through anger in a safe place, anger can be released in a loving way, and that can look differently. I'm not an anger expert. I'm only getting into those feelings of anger right now. I've got a lot of suppressed anger, and but I won't let it eat me. I won't let it eat me. And I feel like a lot of us can. I feel like empathy and anger have this real twisty, untrustworthy kind of like, it's like they're like not friends, but they dance together too. It's like they're both, because when we allow ourselves to feel angry, we make space as an empath in our bodies and in our energy. So it's like when we're releasing that anger or whatever emotion it is, we're making space. And when we make space, we allow more in. We allow more, like that space to be taken up. But who's taking your space up right now? It's the same question as where's your energy leaks? Who's taking up space? Nourishing people who nourish you and help make you feel good, lift you up, are kind, compassionate, not afraid to do the work, not afraid to admit when they were wrong, not afraid to take responsibility for their actions, not afraid to say sorry. Who are you spending time with? Who's in your life that maybe shouldn't be? Where are you not honouring where you are? Saying goodbye to that friend this year was one of the hardest friendships I've ever had to say goodbye to. And I never thought I would have to say goodbye to that person. I thought it was just I need some space. And it turned into, no, this person actually walked away without anything, without an explanation, without anything. And I was very open, honest, and that person didn't want to, and that's okay. I had to sit with that, and it brought up a lot. The fact I was ignored brought up a lot of stuff from just being ignored and rejected. But because I've done that kind of work, and I've got more self-awareness, I could sit with that. And I know that I've made space, even though it was one of the hardest things I had to do was to say goodbye to a friend that I loved and loved spending time with. I knew wasn't right for me from where I'm going next. And I don't want to have to think about it anymore. Because even thinking about it is an energy leak. There's nothing I can do, and I can't change it. So in your life right now, where are your energy leaks? And where are you spending time with things that you shouldn't be? That's not to say like you go into a job that you don't particularly like. Okay, let's address that. You're in a job right now that you just go to because it pays the bills. Where can you reframe that? So not only is it just providing that income for your family, go deeper than that. The connections you make in that job. Where can it lead you? Where can you use that money to turn it into something that you are passionate about or is your purpose? We have to look at things with that different eye. Just that little bit of a different eye, because when we see it from a negative perception, we'll keep seeing the negative. It's like the horse story at the beginning. Oh, you must be so happy you got the horse. Oh, it is what it is. Like, it's that. It takes me back to, I interviewed Neil Donald Walsh a couple of years ago. He wrote the book series Conversations with God. And he said the same. And I think Eckhart Tolle said this as well. I think maybe it was Oprah reached out to him and wanted to get him on the Oprah show. And he was like, oh, great. Yeah, we'll just, get in touch with my, PA and we'll get it sorted. And Oprah was like, are you not excited? Like, oh my God, I'm inviting you onto the show. And he's like, well, It's it's like as though we expect the excitement, and he was just like so neutral, and that's what to say. You can't get excited about things. It's just, I just feel like there's that humble energy of it is what it is, and they're just receiving it anyway. Like, they're receiving that, and they know it's like being invited onto Oprah show must be so thrilling, especially for someone like me. If Oprah reached out to me, Jesus Christ, I would be like, yes, please, and I would be like, oh my God. But I think when I listen to like Eckhart or Neil, I understand where they're coming from. I'm probably not there yet where they are with their awareness and their consciousness, but it's just allowing that energy in and that information in, and just, it's like we don't have to process it the same way as we do. It's just received in without going, oh, well, da, da, da. It's like, so the horse thing. Yeah, he gets a horse, and then everyone's like, oh, you must be so happy and excited and thrilled. And he's like, it is what it is. It's like, so there's not this external pressure of, you have to be so excited. Are you not happy? You're not excited? And just allowing it to just flow. Money banked in, energy banked in, and then your withdrawals, your energy out, in and out, flow, up and down, left and right. So where is it that your energy leaks are actually you're spending more than you are allowing in? Because you'll know in your body, you'll know it, you'll feel it. You'll feel like you're exhausted, you're just giving too much, and you're not receiving, and feeling depleted, feeling not seen. You'll just feel it. I don't have to kind of explain. You'll feel it and you'll know. So where can we stop and start to pull in that energy back? Because if you are sitting in overdraft, it just takes a little bit more time to replenish. And that's all right. You got it. You have got it. I completely did not know what I was going to talk about today, but I hope my voice has reached people today and has really landed in your life in some way. And if it hasn't, it's all right. You take from it what you need to. You might listen to this again in a couple of weeks and go, oh, that really landed differently now, Pip. Thank you. I am going to go and take some more hay fever tablets. And I really enjoyed recording this today. It really felt good. It felt good to talk about it. And I just love doing this. I love showing up. I love sharing my voice. I love sharing insight. I love sharing information that I've received from others, because when we share, that's how we are. Stories have been told and we share them, and that's how we stay connected. So I love you all. I appreciate you all. And if you've loved this episode, please leave a 5-star review, because it really helps me and it helps the show get further and further on the platforms. And send me a DM. If it's really resonated, send me a message and I'd love to hear from you. But other than that, take care and I'll speak to you soon.